Yeah, it's us again. And today we're here to talk about your journey.
Your journey.
Your journey. You might have watched some of our journey. You might even watched some of our videos. You might have watched others' journeys. You probably are looking at what direction to go in and thinking other information or other things that you see when you're watching these kinds of things or watching other people who have gone through what they've gone through to get where they are. There's also going to be the struggle of how does this fit with your journey. Understand that it's a very unique thing. Your journey is not like mine, Cherry's. Even our journey is being connection. We had different pathways to get here, different experiences.
Oh man, we had different thought processes, different expectations, different dreams. A lot of the same ones, but different ones on how easy and fun it was going to be to get here, and how easy and fun it was going to be once we're there, and happily ever after.
And the only time we saw happily ever after was where?
Well,
TV show.
all it said was happily ever after. It didn't go beyond that.
The credits ran after that, so we're like, what do we do after the credits run? Your journey, our journey, the individual journey, it's a lot to show respect for. My own journey, I respect your journey. We respect all of each one of you, each individual journey that you guys are on. We respect that. We don't. We know that there's a lot in the background that plays when you come into this connection. We know that there's a lot that you've been through already. Some things connected you to yourself. Some things disconnected you from yourself. And along the way, who actually was there with you as you went through those things. That would be your journey, you know.
Yeah. And it's, I don't think we've run across anybody's journey who was just like a slip and slide. Ooh, this is great. This is fun.
No.
I mean, there have been some with the slip and slide, but there's been a bump.
Or the water wasn't turned on.
The water wasn't turned on. It's not an easy journey.
Mm-mm.
It's I don't think anybody will tell you it's an easy journey. At all. I'm sure there's a reason for that. I'm sure there is. But the journey just is rough. We've done videos, Twin Flames, Lake of Shit, Fire, and Brimstone. What the hell is this?
Brilliant of you to come up with that.
What am I going through? Why am I going through this? Why can't I get this person out of me?
How come the other person doesn't experience what I'm experiencing? The journey.
It's
your individual journey. That's why they're not going to experience it. They can be connected to you and not know. They can be at your crescendos, but they can't be at what got you to that crescendo. So they don't necessarily understand how you traveled up that hill or traveled up that mountain and see things from the way you see them. And it's really kind of still your journey, even when you come into unity.
Yours. That I think that's misunderstood some. The concept of this is my journey, Lee's journey, our journey. 3 separate journeys.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? 3 separate journeys. I have to go on my journey. Lee had to go on his journey. We're still doing it. And we are in union, which is now has made our journey, right? And if the balance is off, if Lee's not nurturing his journey, if I'm not nurturing my journey, our journey suffers. And I'm using the word journey because it's still a journey. It's not. We're not done.
No.
We're not finished in any way, shape, or form. We just keep on going and keep on going. It's not over because we're in union. The journey isn't over. And we still go through shit. We still go through shit a lot. And we handle things differently in union than if we try to do it from one or the other's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
When we have conflict, we try to resolve that from our journey.
Right.
Finding the balance in him being heard and me being heard at the same time. that's a rough balance. That's a rough balance because I'm focused on my journey and Lee's focused on his journey. So when I'm going through something, I want to talk about my journey. We want to communicate about our individual journeys, which helps our journey go in or stay in the healing.
Right.
It's a very spiritual place. If you look at it from 3D eyes, you're going to see a mess and a lot of pain and a lot of hurt. We did it all. We've done it all to each other. I don't think there's, side hit you over the head with a hammer. We haven't, you know what I mean? We've been through other people, lies and manipulation and masks, ego, so many different 3D emotion, that it drains you as a human being. It drains your energy, it drains you, while your spiritual self is becoming alive.
True.
This is like a death, almost, sort of multiple deaths, it feels like, and it is
A lot of thought processes you've had will be a challenge in the us journey just as much as it is in the individual journey. Stalling out, not being able to listen to yourself really does affect this connection. The connection you have to yourself, the connection you have with each other, and the connection you have just to the other person individually. Because sometimes we just stop listening to ourselves. And there's a lot of things that come from that within your journey. Things that you experience, things that you don't even see as being a hindrance in your journey really do show up 1,000 times in this connection. And it's easy to point at the other person as the source or the cause of it, but literally I don't think that that's the intent, but that's how it ends up shaking out. And then it becomes very easy to stall the journey that you have together. Stall the journey you have with yourself. And then make no forward movement and no backward movement because you're pretty much paralyzed until you figure it out. That, I think, when Sherry watches me go through my individual journey, which we do kind of get a really close look at because we're together a lot, she could see things in me that I stall in or hold back in or stand still in. And in those spaces, she could see that I could make any kind of movement, but sometimes me not saying anything doesn't help her give me that view because I can't see anything past my own journey. This really does cause a lot of distortion in your individual journey as well as the journey you have together. And it's not easy. We're not perfect by any means, but we realize that being vulnerable does help people. And
I hear about Lee.
You do?
Yeah, but Lee, I'm the only one going on the journey. My twin's not going on the journey at all.
And what is that doing to you? And that's usually when we hear, I can't do anything. I'm stuck. I don't know. I can't get there. And as soon as you hear I can't, you're not even paying attention to the word can't and not focused on can. It does shake out that way. I get all of the questions that can come back, but that just leads to other questions that really you haven't answered within yourself. Do you like choosing words like can't, won't, shouldn't, but? I mean, there's so many different ways that we abandon ourselves in our own journey before we want to look to the person we're connected to see how they abandon us is exactly what we're doing to ourselves. It's critical and does leave you in critical condition a lot of times. But that condition can be broken. You can become stable at some point. You just have to realize that this individual journey needs your forward movement before it needs you to just stand still. Stand still sometimes means really looking at all of your choices first, then making a choice. Not waiting for somebody else to make the choice for you.
We've done that a lot.
Oh, we kind of still almost
Still do sometimes. Yeah.
I think we're just more aware of it. And some of the ones that are hardest for us to break are ones that we inherited, ones that we have always had in our individual journeys, and it affects us in our journey together. I mean, this is the real truth. We still are taking off masks and still discovering each other. We're discovering each other in ways that we didn't even know was possible, nor did we believe we could. So, nobody's going to tell you that this is about obtaining perfection, because it's quite the opposite. You got to break it down to the space where perfection doesn't have a definition. That will be perfect and undefined.
You can find a human being to coexist with and live with and be married to and create a home with. Families have done it for years. I mean, my grandparents were married 50 some years. And be with the person, live happily and harmoniously together, right? This union, this particular type of union, has that. Clearly we have to live in the world, but we are not of it. We don't have to be of it, but we still have 3D things, 3D responsibilities, and those are the things that creep into union and kill it. Finances, housework, time. You don't spend any time with me. We're not spending enough time together. Time. One person goes off to work for so many hours a day, comes home, sits on the couch the rest of the night. Those types of 3D conflicts will tear a twin flame union apart if you let the 3D override the spiritual connection. I told Lee a lot in the beginning that, and I know I've mentioned it a million times, so a lot of you will know I'm talking about the box I had inside of me, that I had all this expectation of what I called when I was little big love, right? I have this big love in me. Nobody else seemed to have it. This big love is all this, right? It's all this. And it's not perfect, and I would always say that, but it's all this. And of course, all my little friends was like, that's a fairy tale. That never happens. That's not reality. The difference is nurturing our union, nurturing your union without any 3D influence. that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Focusing on the union and one another. And then seemingly everything falls into place. The finances, the bills, the housework, right? You got two very harmoniously in love people that are connected on a level that seems unattainable. The dishes get done, the bills get paid because you have this confidence, you have this drive about you, because you have this fulfillment. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And it just nourishes the rest of your existence. However, what happens is, as human beings, it's natural. We get into relationships, hoping to find the union there. And the 3D things come in and just start ripping trust and so many different things. Butterflies. Isn't it amazing how the electric bill can come in and shut up the butterflies?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as human beings, we allow 3D issues to tarnish a 5D union. We do it a lot. Human beings do this a lot. Instead of nurturing the union and your own journey, you nurture the fact that the electric bills due any day.
Mm-hmm.
You nurture the fact that the tires need changed in the car. You nurture the fact that the dishwasher needs undone, right? You focus on those things. And that you've not only lost yourself, but your union suffers. Well, he don't do anything. He don't pick up after himself. She don't pick up after himself. I'm the only one that does anything. I do all the laundry. I do all the everything. And then resentment comes in. Then that's a whole different story. Now I resent you for not helping. I resent you for not helping me nurture this union. Really, and most oftentimes they're not union. They're not nurturing their own union. To be able to nurture the together union. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Journey. Should be saying journey. You know what I mean.
It's hard to see your choices. When I went through, and as far as I've looked at, and as I'm looking at it now in my journey, I let an outside influence grow inside me and take me off track from my own individual journey. It's as simple as looking out and coming across something that somebody wrote, or stumbling upon a video where somebody said twin flames are here to heal the world. And now you take that and add that to your journey. It gets bigger than you, it gets bigger than your own journey, and then you lose sight of yourself. This causes disruption. It's caused disconnect, because then you feel like you can just step into that unlimited drive and realize that somehow, someway you've left yourself and your union. This is dangerous. It's also reckless. But you can't see it because you think you're doing the world some good, or you're doing something to help healing. You can't heal anyone if you're not healing yourself. If you're not asking yourself the right questions, if you're just stopped listening to yourself. If you're not listening to yourself, your twin will reflect this back to you. They'll stop listening to you too. Your journey is yours. Any of these things that people are telling you this connection is supposed to give you, It should be giving you yourself first. If nobody points you back to that first, your individual journey will stall, along with your union and the journey that that's supposed to have too. We fluctuate in and out of that, and we find our way back. It's never easy, but it does happen. And the only way you can get back to it is by realizing the truth. What did you put in front of yourself to stop yourself that stopped your union? I know we could probably sit here and come up with all the things we can say the other person's doing, but can you say the same things about yourself? That's what really this needs to be. I think the closer we've gotten to each other is only because we have had that self-reflection and did pay attention to what we were doing or putting into it. That brings you closer together, not tears you apart. Your journey is important. If you're putting the journey you have to the other person before that, in this connection, you're going to stall. And you'll be frozen like that until you realize it. I don't think that there hasn't been a time where we saw somebody move forward in their own journey and it circled all the way back around to where it was supposed to be originally, to the person they're connected to. This is not easy to do, but it's the only way through. Hopefully this points you back to yourself, points you back to your journey. We could tell you our individual journeys and our journey together. You have to really make that a priority. Otherwise, you'll lose sight of it. If you're making what they're doing a priority, you need to stop doing that right now.
We are going to be running a 30-day program over on our Patreon site. You can go to patreon.com. It's Patreon, I think, and search Twin Flames Lee and Sherry. If you want to sign up for this program, you can. All you need to do is become a Patreon member, either tier. We're gonna throw this out to all of our tiers. We're gonna do a program on when things get difficult, pathways to connection. For those of you who are not in union, those of you who are trying to get into union, those of you who are struggling with the union, those of you who are in union and just can't handle it anymore, just about anybody. It's going to be a 30-day program. You're not going to have to be there live much. There's going to be some worksheets and some videos from us. Private videos nobody else will be able to see except for our Patreon members. And then at the end of the 30 days, we will schedule a live question and answer with Lee and I for whoever's in the group, and to answer questions and to discuss the program or what we've learned in the program and things like that. We really want to help those of you who are really struggling with this journey, and it seems to be really rampant right now. You can find us on Facebook, Twin Flame Work Group by Relationship Reinvented. We are there as well, as much as we can be. We have a lot of coaches in there that are Relationship Reinvented coaches that will help you as well. Yeah, if you're interested in talking to us, we're doing complimentary 30-minute sessions. Just hit info@relationshipreinvented.com and email us, and we'll get you on the schedule. If you're interested in a 30-day when things get difficult pathways to connection, just go to Patreon. As soon as you join Patreon, you'll get a message. I think it's like a 6-hour time frame. You'll get a message and just kind of explaining how things will go. It's going to be pretty intense and interesting and a little bit of fun.
The greatest help you can get in healing is somebody who listens to understand versus somebody who listens to respond. We're listening to understand. We love you guys. And we will see you soon.
Yeah, we'll see you next week for sure.